中学を卒業する頃には俺はもうそんなガキな夢を見ることからも卒業してこの世の普通さにも慣れていた。俺は大した考えもなく高校生になり、そいつと出会った。
Good morning, evening, whatever. Hey, it's the midnight match here on EST. Welcome back to United States Cup for one more match. There's still one more after this, but for right now, one more match on this fine Sunday evening. We've got a winner's bracket matchup here, Virginia versus Oklahoma, and this is gonna be a banger. My name's Liliana. Joining me in the casting booth tonight is gonna be the one, the only Bless. How are we doing tonight?
Good evening. I am doing quite good. I just had some dinner, so a little bit of a replenishment for my energy and some nice tea for my throat, which is, of course, after a lot of casting. I know you've been doing a lot of casting too, Liliana, isn't that right?
Yes. Since 9 a.m. It's been a lot on my voice, and I am ready for the sweet embrace of rest. to wake up to do more casting tomorrow because Monday matches.
Yes, of course. I mean, tournaments, it is the season for tournaments. It is the summer. They need casters. So we got to be there for the hosts, the organizers, fill in for those streams, make sure everyone gets their entertainment. Of course, and of course, we still have some more entertainment to provide for you tonight before you Americans head back to bed and receive the sweet embrace of sleep as Liliana so longs for. We do have Virginia versus Oklahoma. Virginia, of course, coming off actually a little bit of a scare against Pennsylvania last week. Big story there was BTMC struggling a little bit noticeably, learning a new area recently, causing a little bit of struggles for him. And Oklahoma also coming off the back of a close one in the round of 16. You know, both of them had pretty comfortable first round matches, but in the second round, both of these teams struggling a little bit. Oklahoma struggling a little bit more, going all the way to tiebreaker against Nevada. But the SR is still low then. The SR going up a little bit higher, and of course, so will the caliber of these teams. Virginia, of course, long-time powerhouse of the USA States Cup, two-time winner in 2023 and 2024, back-to-back. Then coming in third last year after dropping BTMC for Gleeg. This year, out with the Gleeg, in with the Beast Troll, and they are gunning for another victory, most likely. Or I say, of course, they are gunning for that victory. Of course, also starting with a bit of a better seed this year, number 2 as opposed to number 4 last year. But this Oklahoma team also looking to have quite a nice power up, especially, of course, the elephant in the room that is TVUFO.
What an elephant!
And what a player we have added to this roster. Would you like to tell us about Oklahoma?
Like, this guy is just like, wrap it up on OWC USA. Like, I mean, you know, not literally, but like this is one of like the strongest rising players that we've seen in a long time here in North America. Just all around, like, an incredible pickup here for Oklahoma. Definitely one of the higher all right. One of the higher skill cap players as well in this tournament. But also just like this Oklahoma team, like, it's a crazy strong team. You do have Mr. Jeffrey, who has been going kind of crazy on 4WC this year for USA. And then Lights Out, Bazinga's Dead, Hydeo, and Referee to round out their roster. I mean, this is just a strong team. And yeah, like, Nevada gave them a run for their money. But I think even against a team like Virginia, you know, they're no slouches here. Virginia cannot just, like, you know, relax and just kind of have fun with the match. No, they do still have to focus, because Oklahoma, they're gunning for this spot. Like, Oklahoma has the fighting power to be able to go toe-to-toe with Virginia on some of these maps. So I am very excited for this matchup here.
Yeah, and of course, me the same. Very exciting for this one. Also, a little bit of interesting history. The last time these two teams faced was in 2022, in actually the losers quarterfinals. Not not place you would expect to see Virginia very often, but that was a bit of an off year for them. Of course, not having Rectagon, not having BTMC either. That was a year where they did bring on 4 players who had not played for Virginia before. And that was also the start for RNG. So not the strongest of starts for his career in the USA States Cup, but of course, as we know, he has blossomed into quite the menace, especially when it comes to the no-mod aim, his main skill set. Personally, I'm a big enjoyer of no-mod aim. Just some good old gameplay as the mapper intended. Of course, these days you have custom maps and whatnot where the mapper intended the map to be played with a mod, but you know, historically, maps being made to be played with no mod. I mean, I guess I can't even really say that much, considering ever since around 2015, 2016 or so, there were definitely some maps being put out there with the intent for a bit of a faster paced mod to be slapped onto them for some big numbers. But yeah, personally, I have a lot of respect for RNG, as we do see a little bit of a funny warm-up for Oklahoma here. It is in the title of the song, and we did get to see a nice little state-shaped slider to open things up. A little bit more of them too. Always fun to see these funky slider shapes in the warm-ups.
Yeah, definitely. You know, well, state pride goes a long way in the warm-ups, but you know, kind of going back to this Virginia roster, we talked a little bit about RNG, who is a solid player and, you know, a very well-decorated tournament player as well. But to round out the roster, we do have, of course, BTMC, which we have talked about. You've got Failing, also tournament veteran. I mean, this whole team is just like tournament veterans. Failing, One Tabby, Rectigon, Uzumaki. Rectigon, like arguably the best current North American player, at the very least in the United States, for the past few years. And so, like, you are really just like kind of looking at these core players here, Rectigon, RNG, to kind of go toe to toe on a lot of the maps. And then you have fills, you have players who are specialists in certain things, and players who can kind of play a bit of everything. So it really is just a hard team to pick into. It's a hard team to try to ban out as well, because you can ban out some maps, but you can't ban them all. And, you know, same could be said about Oklahoma, although I do think that, for the most part, Oklahoma is a lot more mechanics build. Now, that said, UFO, their new addition, is a Easy World Cup champion for the last iteration of Easy World Cup. So that says something about, you know, their quote-unquote lack of gimmick. Then I don't know what does, but yeah, I mean, this team is gonna probably be picking more into mechanics, and they're really gonna be trying to get, you know, some sort of edge on some of those maps. And there is quite a bit of mechanics here in this pool, so should still work out decently for them if that is the route that they choose to go for. But yeah, I mean, this is just an upgraded Oklahoma, and we have yet to see their full potential yet. You know, last year they placed 9th through 12th, which was their highest placement ever. But like right now, I mean, this team is one of the teams that I could see upsetting a higher seeded team like Virginia. Now, are they going to upset them on a quarterfinals map pool where, you know, the SRs aren't too high yet for some of these, you know, very high skill cap players? Maybe, maybe not. It just kind of depends on, you know, if anybody is underperforming, not really feeling that great, and, you know, if one team is able to just kind of get some pop-off scores, then, you know, if that team's Oklahoma, then they definitely are going to be able to take down these Titans in Virginia.
Yeah, and you do bring up the potential underperforming players in this matchup. I think it has to be said, and I do really hate to hammer this point over and over again, the poor guy, but, you know, it has to be said. BTMC learning the new area still. Hopefully he's going to be a little bit more better adjusted this year. Of course, no hate to him at all, the GOAT.
He's pretty adjusted. I've been following along. So it's not just a new area. I think the dude upgraded to like one of the biggest tablets available without, like, you know, the kind that have screens. He's got like the Zootimator tablet or something. Look, the dude is.
Oh my god!
But listen, okay, like he warms up with the cross screen jump map practice stuff. Like he's gotten used to the area. I think this is still just BTMC. It's just a different BTMC, but it's not any less. You know.
Okay. Well, I think if he has adjusted to, I haven't been following his streams personally, but it seems like you have, and it sounds like he has finally become well adjusted to his new tablet and the new area. Of course, the increased raw size of the tablet as well. Going to be a bit of a challenge to overcome. But it seems like he has overcome that one, and does really patch up any potential weaknesses that Oklahoma might have seen in Virginia's mechanics roster. And mechanics is going to be a pretty big part of this pool. As you mentioned, lots of that in this pool, looking for all the different tapping maps. The Nomad 3 flow aim, the Nomad 2 also a little bit of flow aim, Nomad 5 just consistency on some high BPM, and even looking at the DT3, DT4, Hard Rock 3, Free Mod 3, lots of streams, lots of just high BPM bursts as well.
Yeah, but
So,
hey,
yeah.
we are getting underway with the picks bans here, and we've already kind of rapid fired that Hard Rock 2, and to the DT4 ban from Virginia now. So gonna be getting rid of some of that mechanics here. Virginia does kind of recognize that like that is Oklahoma's game plan. And so again, still targeting the Hard Rocks because Virginia,
Yep.
like they've got some of the
I
best
mean,
Hard Rock players in North America. Like Rectigon's on the
yeah.
team. You don't leave
I mean,
Hard Rocks open versus that team, and not even just Rectigon, right? Like
yeah.
their whole team is like, oh, who wants to play Hard Rock today? It's just like, well, maybe not one tabby. Maybe one tabby's like, not me. But you know, it's like, oh yeah, I can do it. So
Yeah, I mean, you have failing their normal mechanics, third Give Uzumaki. Of course, you also have RNG Rectigon, probably the mainstay duo there. And maybe even BTMC on certain days. Maybe.
You know, BTMC was like the Hard Rock stream player guy. He was like
Yeah, he does have
the
that.
space stream Hard Rock guy. Like the dude can play Hard Rock, not
Yeah.
even outside of like streams. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
speaking
I
of
mean,
Hard Rock streams, I'm sure he'll be very comfortable playing the Hard Rock 3, a bit of a, not necessarily streams and flowing, but some speed stam at the OD10. For now, we will be seeing the last of the bans come through. It's a double DT ban for Virginia, DT4, DT3, taking care of some of that high AR hybrid aim and tapping. And a double Hard Rock ban for Oklahoma, of course, as we were just discussing. And especially this Hard Rock 2, I haven't personally seen it played yet this weekend.
I've seen it
I do
many
know it's
times.
I think I've seen it one time. It is a very, very mean map. I looked at the stats as well. CS 7.8 on the grid mapping. Oh my goodness. That is just asking for Rectigon to 1v3 your team, and this is only a quarterfinals pool.
Yeah. No, that DT3 and the DT4 ban is essentially Virginia just getting rid of the raw tapping / speed mechanics maps in the DT pool. Those are the two that that you could go for like the tapping and speed. You still have the DT2 if you want to do something more conventional with like the higher BPM flow. But that's more of like stamina, really. So we are just gonna go right into the free mod 2 here, which is like not a free, it's not anti-mod. It is not a standard map either. It's a lot of horizontal linear sliders, very fast. It's Hollowings. If you're at all familiar with Hollowings, I mean, like if you don't know this map, you were probably born after like 2010 or something. I don't know, bro. Like this is like such an OG map. I feel like that you've for sure seen it, and if you haven't, well, you're in for a treat. It's a great map.
Yeah, as you were saying, we got some horizontal sliders as well. Some of the rhythms and how those rhythms are represented in the patterning on those horizontals. It's pretty interesting. Can be a bit of a challenge to read as well, of course. Even on the Hard Rock with the decreased density on the AR-10. And then, of course, extra challenge to aim there as well. Pretty good pick, however, for Virginia. I feel, of course, you do have Rectigon for whatever Hard Rock you want. And then one tabby. I mean, this map is a little bit gimmicky. We could see them coming for the hidden, but it also is pretty intense on the aim. I could see someone else coming to try and fill that as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that this had some reading elements to it, and I kind of disagree with that, actually. I think the map is just straight up, it's just an aim map. And the misses come from miss aims because, like, if you're on Hard Rock, the circles are smaller, and it's pretty much all sliders, and they're like cross screens, and you also have to try to hit the tail as well if you want to get the perfect score on the slider. And if you're on hidden, it's like density, so it's still not reading, but there's just a lot of notes happening, and so it's very easy to get a little confused there and slightly miss aim. But yeah, it's just an aim map with sliders. It's slider aim.
Yep. Well, we will be seeing just how it looks in a short moment. We do have the rosters in the lobby. Lights out, that is 858-1210, 7 digits in a row, just like an American phone number. Don't know where the area code is, or what the area code is for that one, but maybe better off we don't know.
Yeah, we're not doxing people here.
Yeah. will be taking the Hard Rock first team as, of course, UFO in for the hidden, letting Mr. Jeffrey take the Nomad as we go into this first KI section. Those cross-screen sliders going back and forth. A little bit of vertical motion in here sprinkled as well, but mostly just going to be this horizontal motion from the sliders that you see on your screen right now. Of course, the other side getting Rectagon on the Hard Rock, RNG on the hidden, and failing for the Nomad, as Virginia looking to hold on quite nicely, as we've already seen the bottom row of Oklahoma falter with their combos. Just that star of TTV UFO on the FC on the right side of the screen. And is already almost 200,000 score in the favor of Virginia.
Doing their best to combat some of these scores here. RNG and failing both on the full combos still. Rectagon finding a couple of breaks, but is on that Hard Rock. This is going to be the more difficult mod of choice to be able to combo that. This lights out score going to be dropping again, though. And so UFO still needs a bit more help here. Can't quite do it all on his own. It's going to need to see some breaks, but this is more or less free combo section bless. Like, this is the little 1/3 patterns where you can build up some extra combo here, and difficulty only comes after the section. So right now, Virginia are primed to be able to just take their first pick as a very dominant point here.
Yeah, the score lead already eclipsing 400,000, especially with UFO dropping his combo right there. I think we can go ahead and write this one down in the books for Virginia. Failing, gonna fail to close out his FC, but RNG still on the hidden mod, and things do look quite comfortable for him going into the ending of this map. 99% is his accuracy, and Virginia comfortable first point and a solid start on the correct foot. RNG, I mean.
Come on, dude. We knew.
Just
we do a little bit of trolling here.
yeah. I mean, hey, sometimes the map just does that to you.
Yeah, sometimes you know it does that, but you miss anyways. Either way, we'll call it an FC. It's an FC, you guys. We don't look too deep into it because it's over 1 million points. Obviously, it was a full combo.
Yeah,
and
of course.
You know what? This is a great start to the match here for Virginia. I do. Always sometimes have some concerns about, like, oh, we're picking into aim as a first pick, but it's not just aim. It's like, it's very much just gimmick aim. It's these horizontal sliders. Like, we do not aim naturally in a straight line. There's always a little bit of curve, whether it's like up, like a curve from, you go over or under, but it's always a curve. If you look at like your replays ever, and you're looking at jumps, like, you're not going like point A, point B, you're kind of like going a little around. And so that the fact that like the map is just featured specifically only horizontal or vertical movement and like no in between makes it really uncomfortable. So I do think that it is one of the key reasons why Virginia won that. The fact that it is just a very uncomfortable thing, and also it's in the free mod. Like, you're forced to go 2 unique mods. So it worked out great for them, and we're going into Hard Rock mechanics here, which is actually kind of to be expected here. You had the Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 2 ban against you, and we're gonna go into the Hard Rock 3, but this is like speed. And do I remember correctly, Oklahoma banned out both of the higher BPM speed DTs? DT3, DT4?
Yes, they did.
Like, I mean, they're not like speed per se, but they are higher BPM with speed elements to them. This is like raw speed. And also, it goes without mentioning, Astolfo Beta Catch the Stick. Astolfo Beta Catch the Stick is the name of the map. No, I did not just say that for fun, but yeah, it's a great little map here. We do enjoy the silly, goofy names, but yeah, it's Hard Rock 3. You got speed mechanics, pretty difficult on the aim, all things considered. So, we'll see how this one plays out for Oklahoma, but I still think, it's always tough to have to pick something into a team like this, Virginia, where they kind of can field 3 people for anything. But I do think this is a good first pick.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting one. Not seeing BTMC in for this one like I would have thought, as you did mention his proficiency on the Hard Rock streams, the Hard Rock flow aim. but of course, always can be some. We never know what's on the team sheet for these players. Could just be a little bit of feel. Maybe BTMC not wanting to practice this one on stream. I don't know. But we do have.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I think BTMC probably just a little bit speed gapped on this.
Ah, I see. Well, we do have the rosters in for this one. Rectagon, of course, going to be accompanied by Failing, and it will be RNG to round things out on the left side of your screen, and on the right side, UFO, of course, in who else but UFO, and then it's going to be Mr. Jeffrey, their 4WC extraordinaire, going to be accompanying Lights Out to basically allowing Oklahoma to have the arguably the strongest members of their team in the lobby at the same time. So in that sense, it is quite a good pick for them, just trying to enable the maximum amount of firepower possible, especially when you have to punch so high above, well, maybe not necessarily super high above the weight class, but definitely I would call Virginia in a weight class above Oklahoma. And well, I do say that we do see Rectagon and Failing to find a couple of early breaks. A little bit unstable here, as you do mention some of the aim mechanics in this map. A little bit tricky as well. We did see that on display, not quite catching out anyone else. But Oklahoma is still holding on to those 3 FCs, and that will push them into a score lead of about 200,000. It's going to be Lights Out dropping his combo, trading with the recovery of Failing. So still a little bit of an advantage into Oklahoma, and they will continue to push the advantage across the 300k boundary, and we are already almost at the end of this map. Leon, I think Oklahoma have found a good first pick to start off with, and a good response to Virginia's free mod 2.
I mean, absolutely. This is Oklahoma's bread and butter. You put them on the hard rock and they will perform. That said, I do think this is also an underperformance here from Virginia. RNG going to be dropping the combo at the very end. Rectagon finding a miss on like aim in the middle of the map. That's kind of out of the ordinary. So, you know, this is still Oklahoma getting the point. This is still Oklahoma proving that they are very strong on hard rocks. There's a reason why Virginia banned 2 of the other hard rocks, now making the hard rock pool void now that this one's been picked. But, you know, that said, like, if Rectagon had FC'd, maybe Failing misses like 1 time less, like that's just the point for Virginia. And that is the kind of level of performance that you do need to see from Oklahoma from here on out. You cannot slouch versus this Virginia team, and they did solid here. That was a great first pick for them. That said, like, there's nothing else in the pool that is even remotely similar to that anymore. The DT3 and the DT4 are banned, and DT4 being the second closest one. You're gonna have to go a different route. Still probably gonna be mechanics, but yeah, no more speed available to them.
I mean, maybe the closest thing possible would be that free mod 3, of course, the 200 BPM streams, but I think the 200 BPM a little bit more accessible for BTMC as well. So giving Virginia a little bit more breadth in their roster decisions, maybe able to find some players who are a little bit more comfortable. And also, of course, we can't just look at the ending scoreline and say, okay, Oklahoma won this by a pretty comfortable margin. No, that is not how things happen here. 300k is a very small margin when the scores are this big, and you know, you can lose 300k just by missing once in the middle of the map, and that is what happens with these players. Now we will see Virginia continuing to pick into the free mod. It's Dust Cell Stigma, some mech tech, a little bit heavy on the aim, so of course big aimers on the side of Virginia probably going to be feeling pretty comfortable about this one as well. But Oklahoma, I mean, I believe you just did describe them earlier as a little version of maybe a budget Virginia. I think it was what you said.
I don't remember saying that, but sure, you can say that. I mean, these are two strong teams, both solid on mechanics. So sure.
Yeah. Maybe just a little bit of a little brother on the mechanics here.
I mean, hey, this is I think still going to be a good pick for Virginia because we're in the free mods here, and that's kind of how Virginia shines. You do have the mod specialists for the team, of course, like Rectagon on the hard rock, and then you put like RNG on the hidden, and +1. And it's like, you do always want to have Rectigon and RNG in the lobby at the same time for like the best chance of Virginia to be able to get the point. And you know, we saw them both in the lobby at the same time on the previous map, and they still didn't get the point. But when it comes to free mod specifically, where you are allowing RNG to go that hidden comfort and allowing Rectigon to go on that hard rock comfort, and then you know your third player can do whatever, that is where Virginia shines. So I do think that this is still probably just going to be heavily Virginia favored. But that said, Oklahoma, I mean, this is a strong team. It cannot be understated. This team can do phenomenal things. It's just a matter of if they can do it in match and right now versus Virginia.
Yeah, and not just that, it will take some slip-ups from Virginia as well, as we did see in the previous point on Hard Rock 3. We are into the next map, the Free Mod 1. Looking at the rosters here, Lights Out on the Hard Rock, and UFO on the hidden. Of course, similar lineup to what we saw. I believe it's the exact same lineup, pardon me, to what we saw on the Free Mod 2, and letting Mr. Jeffrey take the no mod, of course, just the expected mod combinations on the side of Virginia, with filling out the no mod, and they do have the ever so slightest of edges going into this first KI section. That is despite failing finding a very early miss, of course, only within the first 30 combo of the map. So the low accuracy is on the side of Lights Out and Mr. Jeffrey, down in the 97s, or just about 97, 98 for Lights Out, going to be making it up most of the difference, and that difference will expand more now that Mr. Jeffrey has dropped his combo, does go untraded.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the spots you want to be dropping your combo here as well. Lights Out going to be falling by the wayside, and now it's just once more again on the back of UFO. I feel like we've heard this story before, and previously it didn't quite work out because the combos remained for Virginia, and right now, hey, I was gonna say it was continuing to remain for Virginia, but Rectigon gonna be dropping the combo as well, and now is just going to come down to two FCs, failing still, you know, having the miss very, very, very early on, but two major combos to the one FC for UFO, and they're gonna need more here, Oklahoma. They're gonna need to see more breaks, more misses, and at this point, more act drops from Virginia.
Yeah, and this is also eerily similar to what we saw in the Free Mod 2, you know, Mr. Jeffrey and Lights Out holding decently in the early parts of the map, but eventually dropping their combos. UFO, like you said earlier, the sole remaining member for Oklahoma to hold on. And then it was a bit of perhaps we could call it an uncharacteristic miss from Rectigon around the middle of the map, and failing will follow him up again, as RNG once again the sole player to hold into the ending of the map. This time matched by UFO, however, so there is still some leeway for Oklahoma to fight their way back into this one.
Yeah, do still need to have that combo drop from RNG, but that's going to be a lot to ask for. 150,000 is possible, but like that combo would need to go now, and even then you still need to have all three players remaining on the combos here for Oklahoma in the ending, where the spacing does get big. That's a miss from Rectigon. This could be the opening that they need here, Bless.
Yeah, but they still need that RNG drop, and especially with the big chain miss from Lights Out right there. Not looking good for Oklahoma. The score lead has come a little bit back their way, but with UFO missing, I think that is another shut case for this one. Liana, Mr. Jeffrey does have a very nice recovery going into the ending of this map, but RNG holding basically until the very end. Even missing right. What? Come on.
No. It's like I get it. No, but like I get it. Also the one miss, two 100s, 250s from failing.
Yeah.
Like these scores are gross. These accuracies are gross. I don't know if you saw, but like RNG and Rectigon were SSing the map for like the first half of it almost. So it's just like the comfortability here from these players, and still like these are good team scores from Oklahoma. You know, the worst score on their team was like 500K. Like that's not even bad, man. But against this Virginia team, it's just not enough, especially not when RNG is basically FCing again.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what you get when you put so much just top tier talent into one. There's really no other way to describe all 6 of these players than top tier talent. And I mean, there's a reason why this state has won the USA States Cup twice in the past. And looking for a third trophy this year, especially not too familiar with who Mitosh was in their 2020 in their 2 wins back then, but
boy.
since then swapping out for Uzumaki and keeping all 5 other players basically. If sounds like you have something you'd like to tell me about him.
Oh no, it's just this Virginia team has gone through changes, as have pretty much every team ever.
Of course.
You know, some players stay for the whole time that the team's been around. You know, sometimes not. But yeah, no, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 podium finishers, 1 second place and 2 firsts for those. Like, I think that is up there as one of the most winning teams that there are. I mean, it's an easy look up, and I'm too lazy to do it right now. But as far as I know, like 5 podium finishes is up there, for sure. And so yeah, like this Virginia team, like they're strong. They've been strong for a reason. They've had like 1 or 2 hiccups, but like that's the thing about USC. It just comes down to who plays better on the given day. And right now, Oklahoma, they've won their own point, and they are going toe-to-toe for the most part here when it comes to scores. You know, despite not getting any breakpoints just yet, but like they're still performing at the same level that Virginia is right now. And so I do think that Virginia, like, they can't take their foot off the pedal here, as we do get this no mod 4 pick from Oklahoma. Like, Virginia cannot give any form of comfortability towards Oklahoma. They cannot stop giving it their all, because the moment that they do, Oklahoma is the kind of team that can capitalize on that and can perform to be able to secure some breakpoints if Virginia gets too complacent.
Yeah, and I believe a moment of respite is the word that you were looking for earlier, not allowing Oklahoma a moment to breathe. And Oklahoma doing pretty good for themselves on their first pick of the Hard Rock 3, looking to continue that success and continue to trade blows with Virginia as they look to the no mod pool. The no mod 4, it's going to be some slider and alt aim control, if I recall this one correctly. Already seeing some pretty big sliders here, so I do think I am remembering correctly. It's going to be one tabby in coming for, excuse me, sort of the more gimmicky, control-y elements of this map, and of course RNG in for the weirder no mod parts of this. And of course, who else but Rectagon to round out that roster. On the other side for Oklahoma, of course, you're going to have UFO in for this one. Nice and gimmicky for him, so going to be feeling right at home here. Of course, Mr. Jeffrey, excuse me, as well. Maybe a little bit too gimmicky for Lights Out, as we do see quite some strangely shaped and quick sliders as well already. And it's going to be Bazinga to round out the roster. Then we do already see quite the bit of misses here on the side of Virginia. No FCs remaining at this point in time, and UFO and Mr. Jeffrey already bringing Oklahoma out to a 200,000 score lead, and it does look like they do have a good start and a chance to bring a second punch into the face of Virginia.
I mean, they're doing pretty good so far here. You got 2 FCs to 0, and there are still good recoveries on the other side, but like we've been talking, the map's pretty much over. There's only a quarter of the map remaining here and 430,000 points. I mean, you blinked and you missed it. Yeah, it's quite a bit here. So Oklahoma, I mean, again, I'm not trying to glaze them necessarily, but like this is a strong team. This is a team that, you know, very easily could have been like a top 5 team potentially if there were like a different way of seeding. You know, like this is just a good team this year, and so the fact still stands. They are performing exceptionally. They are getting the scores when they need it, and they are going toe-to-toe with Virginia of all teams right now in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I think this praise is definitely justified, as we are looking at quite a hefty scoreline here. And I do think this scoreline tells a little bit of a different story compared to the others. We did see a little bit more struggles throughout the map for Virginia, it's not like the Hard Rock 3 where it was balancing on a nice edge and it could have gone either way, one miss deciding it either way. No, definitely Oklahoma showing a little bit more comfort on that map throughout, able to hold some really nice combo through some hold sections and also hold some really nice accuracies. You're looking at Rectagon all the way down at 95.9 and one tabby, the gimmick player he would think is really going to excel on this map, 97.25 there. Whereas Oklahoma comfortably in the 98s and 99s, holding a double 99 on Mr. Jeffrey and UFO for most of that map, in fact. And Oklahoma, they've gotten one punch, and now they've gotten two. That is a 1-2 punch they have delivered with good connection to Virginia.
You know, you kind of mentioned about one tabby maybe underperforming. That could be the case, but also one tabby is like much more known for like the alts. Is like the alt player and also the hidden player. And so like yeah, this kind of a map should have been a little bit better for Virginia. Sure, should have. Did it go that way? No. And so Oklahoma, I mean, again, they're just playing great. This is just a phenomenal match of Osu so far, and I hope it continues this way because, like, you know, to be able to see a Titan versus what is essentially an underdog that is basically Titans on the rise here. Like this is what you want. You want the match to be close. You don't want it to be like one-sided where like one team is just curb stomping the other. But I'm so happy. This is the first time that this map has not been banned in a match that I've commentated, and also we get to see it picked, and I'm so happy. This is Yatta.
I think
this is Yatta. You can do it, guys. You
yeah,
can do it.
I think you can even give some Yatta cheers yourself, as this is definitely a moment where if you were Japanese, you would be yelling out Yatta, and you'd be very excited. Very excited reaction.
Let's not gatekeep Yatta from the world, okay? Everybody can Yatta if they want to. Just sing along. Yeah. Just sing along, you guys. Like this is such a beautiful map. Now, listen, the song is great. The map is like you practice or die, essentially. It's a lot of stacked reading with some kind of unorthodox patterning, and so like either you made 15 practice stiffs or you've played this map for like in other tournaments and you made practice stiffs back then, or you're kind of just like 200k maxing. It's basically how this map goes.
Yeah, I mean, this map is really mean. Like, just before you even look at the patterns that are in the map, of course, always the AR8 hidden, and on top of that, CS6, mind you. And then from there, now you can start adding onto the patterns some of the weird stacks and some of the weird snaps as well, as they're already on full, excuse me, full display. You can see them now, and the rhythms on these stacks are not at all intuitive either. It does take a little bit of time to sort of figure them out, learn them, and that is what Liliana is meaning by those practice tips. Of course, certainly hope these players have put in plenty of practice. Looking at the rosters, we do have, of course, who else but UFO for Oklahoma, going to be accompanied by referee, their hidden and Phil gimmick player, as well as Mr. Jeffrey on the other side. Of course, one tabby looking to match UFO. Unfortunately, going to be finding the first miss for his team. Otherwise, accompanied by RNG and Rectagon. Of course, who else but those two?
This is just such a fun map. And
I can
look at that
smile.
beautiful man in the background. I mean, like, how charismatic can we get here? Gonna be a couple more misses coming through from Oklahoma on both Mr. Jeffrey and referee. So still gonna be tough goings early on here, but it's traded out by Rectagon, and just now RNG versus UFO with better recovery on one tabby to help out Virginia continue to push the score lead.
Yeah, and another thing that's pretty mean about this map, some of the longer sliders with the reverse arrows on them, I believe, catching out both Mr. Jeffrey and referee in the earlier section. So still Virginia holding on nicely as referee and Mr. Jeffrey rather more so referee, going to be stumbling a little bit more as the map goes on, as One Tabby and Rectagon finding some very nice recoveries here. RNG will drop his combo, however, so big opening for UFO. And this is the kind of map that we do expect him to excel on, this kind of weird gimmick. Of course, Hidden 2 always going to be a good slot for him, and then you just make it as weird as possible, and I feel like that really just does lend so much to the abilities of specialists like UFO, and we do see him continue to hold on to this. The score lead has diminished a lot, finally coming back under 100k, and now 50k and almost to the side of Oklahoma as Virginia continue to struggle in the back half of this.
I mean, One Tabby found a couple of breaks now, finding more. That is the reason why the score is just skyrocketing towards the direction of Oklahoma, but it's all on UFO here. There is no supporting combo, so if UFO does make any mistakes, that score lead is completely squashed here. So really, the pressure is on for UFO to perform, and I mean, when it's a player like UFO, I think they can handle that pressure, but, you know, like, this map is not easy in the ending either. So there's a quarter of the map remaining. We do see that score lead flip. Let's look at the accuracies here. Looking a little bit worse on the side of Oklahoma, and still just need to get a little bit of extra combo on the other players to really help round out this score that UFO is putting up. And right now, I think Oklahoma can get it done.
Okay, and I don't know if it even matters as UFO is still holding on into this ending. What are you doing, man? Virginia does have some nice recoveries, but the score has finally flipped while you were talking, Liliana. And this score is finally eclipsing 100k. I think he's done enough, but he's looking for more. He is still holding on. Referee will drop his recovery, but it matters not. And we're all just looking at this man in the middle of your screen in the bottom right center, TTV UFO. What are you doing to this map? This is illegal. This is not allowed, surely. How can someone be this good at Hidden 2?
Hey, listen, there was a reason my UFO was on the USA Easy World Cup team this last iteration. There's a reason why this dude is considered like one of the best up-and-coming all-rounder players that can literally just play everything. And that's not even an exaggeration. You just play everything. And it's just chill for him. It's just chill.
He's so good. I don't even know if the W sight read comment in chat is ironic or not.
No, that's what is it called? Interaction bait or whatever.
That it's some ore farming and rage bait.
Yeah.
I want to believe that, but a little part of me can't help but doubt.
No shot. If it was a sight read, I mean, like, GG, well played. Like, just sign this guy up for OWC already. Like, give him the spot. Like, it's secure. Just lock it in. Either way, though, hey, where were you when Oklahoma's taking Virginia toe-to-toe and ends up getting a break point on a Virginia pick on Gimmick, of all things?
That is actually the first break point of the map, of the match, excuse me. And actually, I do want to say, while you were mentioning earlier Oklahoma, a bit more of a mechanics roster historically, I did think that maybe with UFO on the team, Gimmick would be something that is a little bit favored to Oklahoma just with the raw firepower that he brings. And of course, Gimmick maps are quite difficult, a lot harder to get the FCs compared to some of the more standard mechanics maps. And we do see UFO the only one to pull out the FC on that Hidden 2. So perhaps the Gimmick's a little bit less clear than we originally thought in this matchup. We do see a DT1 pick, and to me this is also a little bit, or excuse me, this is an Oklahoma pick. I was gonna say,
yeah,
if this would be a little bit interesting, but this is definitely a very obvious follow-up to what we had on Nomad 4, in my opinion. That one definitely had a little bit more reading, some pattern parsing, some hit object parsing to do with the cluttered visuals and trying to figure out where exactly your cursor needs to go. This one a little bit more obvious on where the next note is, but still some flow alt, a little bit of snaps between the flow patterns, and it's going to be some aim control on the DT mod.
Yeah, aim control indeed here. And I do like that Oklahoma is just sticking to their guns. They're not scared of Virginia here. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. Probably. Like, match nerves versus anyone. I get that. But, like, this pick strategy is very clearly, we do not care whether or not your team is good at the map that we are picking. We only cared because that we are good at the map that we are picking, and that is why we are picking it. And we are not going to let any doubt form in our minds whether or not, like, it's a good pick because your team is good at it. No, they just don't care, right? I mean, surely there is got to be some consideration. Like, you're obviously you're not going to be like, oh, well, let's just pick the Virginia maps. Like, no, not necessarily. But like when it comes to this DT1, it's like, I mean, this could have been a Virginia pick. Easily. However, Oklahoma, they've managed to split up Rectagon RNG duo here. Now, you do get Uzumaki coming in, and of course, One Tabby gonna be the roster, but that is like one of the key things that I feel like is very hard to do here when you're facing this Virginia team. Split up Rectagon RNG, and your chances of winning do go up quite a bit.
Yeah, and of course, going to be facing that split duo now. Just one half of it, the Rectagon half of that duo, will be Mr. Jeffrey, and UFO. Going to be accompanying them is Bazinga's Dead.
Yeah,
do you believe we saw? Yeah, Bazinga. I do. Her. Is it a she?
Yes.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it is a she. Okay, of course. Was about to use some incorrect pronouns. But regardless, I do believe we saw her in for the No Mod 4 as well. Yeah, and gonna be looking to put in some work on the DT1. Fortunately, not able to hold on to her initial combo, so no FC hopes there, but Mr. Jeffrey and UFO still holding on to their combos. And there goes some more. Speaking of combos, there's a lot of drops on the side of Virginia. Both Uzumaki and One Tabby losing their FCs. It's just Recon on the lone FC. Tiny bit of score lead thanks to the accuracy, but it does finally flip over as the combos do scale. A little bit of an accuracy gap on Bazinga, down all the way down at 96, with a double 99 from Rectagon and One Tabby at the moment. But these combos are what is putting in the work. Mr. Jeffrey and UFO. Of course, this is a combo game at the end of the day, and those combos are going to put them about 100k in the lead as we go into the back half of this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great start for Oklahoma here, and they are going to try to consolidate on the breakpoint that was given to them. And honestly, this is a very tough spot to be in here for Virginia as they continue to find more and more misses, more mistakes. Now, Mr. Jeffrey finally does drop the combo, but again, it's going to be UFO versus this time Rectagon now. So better recovery on One Tabby. So that score will start to slowly go back the way of Virginia for the time being. But as long as UFO holds, like, this is going to keep it very tough to get over the way of Virginia, especially considering the map is coming to a close very soon, Bless.
Yeah, we're already less than a quarter of the way to go, and it is just a battle of, I mean, I think we can all agree that UFO basically OWC level at this point, a battle between those, and it looks like he's actually going to be winning out in the 1v1 as Rectagon dropping the combo right at the end of the map, and of course that will seal the deal. Oklahoma taking a point and consolidating a break point against Virginia here as they go up 4-2. Who would have thought we'd be saying that tonight?
You know, honestly, I did. I genuinely, like, I'm not trying to glaze Oklahoma, but like this is such a strong team. They're not like, this is not like, oh, they're seed 10 because they've got high ranked players. No, they're seed 10 because they have high ranked players, but also those high ranked players are kind of really good at the game. So, I mean, it's just like, hey, listen, the match isn't over. It's not won for Oklahoma. But, like, you're up a breakpoint. You have consolidated that breakpoint. It is now 4-2 when you are the lower seed versus a team that is tied for the most podium finishes ever in USC, that being Virginia. And so, like, yeah, Virginia's on the back foot for the first time in this whole tournament? Question mark? And, like, there's still more maps to be played. We are going to get into the No Mod 2, which is, honestly, I'm so jealous of the people that made it into this stage to be able to play this map in a tournament setting, because it is, like, my favorite map, one of my favorite maps, like, top 3, easily. But it's such a cool map. It's mech techy. You don't get to see this style of mapping anymore. It's a Kali mapping, and I do wish that there were more maps that kind of mirrored the style that Akali had built for themselves back when they were making maps, and, you know, being like prominently one of the most well-known tech mappers. This is what tech used to be. It used to be this. Nowadays it's like, ooh, you gotta do fancy slider shapes, and they have to be varying slider velocities, and, you know, it's gotta be more aesthetic than actual playability. No, this is like playability first, and still somehow manages to get the aesthetic of cats going for it. Like, there, you can tell with the sliders, makes little cute little cat faces. You've got the cat like whisker slider that just is run killer. Although I've been saying that, and the one match I saw this played in earlier, nobody missed on it. So I don't know, but yeah. No, we'll see how this one goes. I also still quite like this as a potential for a breakpoint again from Oklahoma. So yeah, I don't even know. But look who has entered the chat, bless.
I do need to see as normally
Troll Minecraft.
Ooh. Welcome. Lovely to have you here, as we are underway with this No Mod 2 pick for Virginia, looking to put some points back on the board, and of course, not wanting to let Oklahoma take any more break points at this point. I do believe you are already past the opening cat ears slider, fortunately.
Oh, there's plenty more, don't worry.
Okay. But yeah, some overlapping sliders, as you were mentioning, a little bit, not something you would see too much in the modern day, but here we go into a little bit of a build-up. The slider jump's not been catching anyone, but this is the big burst that catches out Lights Out, and that is the first break of the map. Gonna be matched by BTMC, but still the other combos in the lobby holding on. UFO, Mr. Jeffrey up against the duo of RNG and Rectagon back in the lobby together. Some big bursts, big spacing, gonna be catching out Lights Out again. And the score lead ever so slightly in the favor of Virginia at this point in time, especially with Lights Out all the way down at 92% accuracy. Kind of down in the dumps there, but we do see another combo break out of Mr. Jeffrey, and that should really put Virginia, I was going to say in a solid position, but what is that miss from RNG?
Hold on.
And all of a sudden we're back at square one.
Yeah, it's not over here though. Despite having UFO on that full combo, it's still being matched by Rectagon once more, but this time around, it's not Rectagon on their own. He does have the supporting score coming through from BTMC for the time being as we get into the final third of the map. Still though, this is going to be one of the hardest parts of the map, and the slider that I was talking about earlier that can be run killing if you do not practice, if you do not understand the slider. It doesn't move the way that you think it would, so you do really have to make sure that you hit that properly, or else you are just going to miss. You are going to tap your score pretty badly. So here we go. We're going to get into it right after these jump splits.
Yeah, do you think I remember that? And there it is, yeah. Looks like all the players are going to hit it, but just Mr. Jeffrey going to be dropping the combo right afterwards. Traded out by Rectagon. That's a pretty good trade for Oklahoma, as he was the biggest combo on their side. TTVUF is still holding on to the FC. BTMC going to be trying to hold down the fort, as he does have a very sizable recovery. Not a lot of time left in this map though. Gotta hope for a little bit more combo density here, and maybe another miss from Virginia to cement the score lead going in the favor of Oklahoma. Finally gonna come down under 30k, and maybe they don't even need that, but there goes a big miss from out, and there goes a draw from UFO.
Oh no!
And it's a full from Oklahoma, and there go their chances of another break point, as Virginia BTMC coming back after a bit of a struggle on the previous week and posting a really good score, a very important score to keep Virginia in this, to to make sure they do secure their own point and threaten to tie things up on Oklahoma's next pick.
I'm just at a loss for words here. Like this TTV UFO guy is just single-handedly bringing Oklahoma closer to the finish line. Wasn't quite able to get it done, but like, bro is like, yeah, he's missing. Okay, so he's human, but what are these scores that we've seen so far? This is Oklahoma off the back of a lot of major single-player carry performances here in UFO. And I mean, the dude is not shaken. That map is like so incredibly hard to FC. You know, out of the setting of being in a tournament match, let alone, you know, like if you just sit there and retry spam it, you're gonna get mind locked on it. Like, the fact still stands. Virginia barely won that pick. It was like 96,000, but like
it was under 50,000 at some point.
Yeah, it was like 20,000 right as the misses came through from the players on Oklahoma who were holding. So, you know, Oklahoma, like, you cannot count this team out. That is what I've been saying. Like, you cannot get complacent. You cannot get comfortable here as Virginia. You cannot just look at this team and be like, oh yeah, I mean, we're higher seeded. We've got, you know, the more tournament experience. Like, we'll just beat them. Like, no. You have to be fully focused. You have to give it your all on every single map. And we are hopefully going to continue to see that going forward here in this match. But that was Virginia's pick. They did kind of have to win that. If you lose that pick to Oklahoma, right, if that's a break point, then Oklahoma's at match point. And I mean, we're going to this Hidden 1. If they were at match point, I don't know. But like, we are picking Hidden into Virginia. But like, I mean, you know, any other team, I'd be like, I don't know about that. But for Oklahoma, it's, you know, it's just a walk in the park here for them.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the break point earlier on the Hidden 2, and after that, I really do think Oklahoma might even be a little bit favored on the Hidden pool, especially some of these harder maps that are going to be, or maybe not necessarily harder in terms of their overall difficulty, but in terms of how hard it is to FC. It does really seem like UFO is the kind of player who will just hold through every single one of the most evil patterns in this map, and boy does this map have a lot of evil patterns. We did already see him do that for the evil patterns in the Hidden 2, and we're going to be looking for a repeat performance from him, and hopefully Virginia not quite having that same level of performance to match him, as they do have the players to match him and even surpass him. Maybe they have two players to match him. Then I don't know if he's going to have enough backing power to get a second FC on this map. This map, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times so far this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, actually, no. This is the first time I've seen it. It's been banned in like every single match that I've commentated.
Oh.
This and Hidden 2, both have been banned. Wow. Every match without fail.
Interesting. All right, then let me tell you.
For the matches I've been in. But no, you don't have to. I know this map. But you can tell the stream.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll tell the audience about this one. We do have some very nasty stacked bursts on alt with it's a little bit aim control-y, a little bit back and forthy, and it's really trying to read when you need to go back and when you need to go forth. Basically, you're going to be reading between two stacks of notes, and it's going to be difficult to parse through those. The rest of the map, it's pretty tame, just some classic hidden flow aim, but then you do have those patterns every now and then that are just going to steal away your score. I remember some players talking about this, as it's pretty easy to get 400k on this map, but if you're looking to get something like 600k or higher, then it's really going to be a tough ordeal, and we're already seeing some of those patterns you can see on your screen right now, the back and forths. There will be a lot more variation in terms of how the circles are stacked and in what rhythm they're stacked between the two positions as the map goes on. Already seeing a couple early breaks from Mr. Jeffrey and Bazinga's Dead. Nothing on the side of Virginia, as everyone looking pretty comfortable in the early parts, looking to have practiced that intro well enough.
I mean, it's a rough start here for Oklahoma. Yeah, you still have UFO doing UFO things, holding on to the combo, but it's still a three-way FC for Virginia in this map, where there is still more difficult patterns. There's one of them. RNG going to be breaking on that. No trades to get to Oklahoma. So actually, this is still not too far gone here for Oklahoma, but you still do have two major combos on Virginia. They do have to continue to hold, and Oklahoma is going to try their best, but that's a double miss from Mr. Jeffrey and Bazinga.
Yeah, you really don't want to see them, especially with UFO going down. I think this might be Oklahoma faltering a little bit, as yes, UFO has put up such an amazing performance so far today, but one man can only do so much for the team. This is a team game after all, and you put more weight on this man, you turn him into your camel, and eventually there will come a straw which breaks the camel's back, as Rectagon and One Tabby still holding on to their FCs, and this score lead has gone quite solidly in their way. 350,000 and climbing as we go into the back 1/3 of this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point for Virginia here. It's going to be a breakpoint answered back for them, and they did need to get this breakpoint at some point along the way. But Virginia, you know, this is one of the things that I was talking about. Like, I still do think that this was a fine pick for Oklahoma. However, you know, despite One Tabby finally dropping the combo, it's still like One Tabby RNG Rectagon on hidden, and like, this is a team that will practice the maps. They will understand the patterns that they need to understand in order to get good scores on the map. And like right now, we're seeing Rectagon with the full combo going to be the highest score in the lobby. And you know, they would have had to have missed like at the halfway mark if Oklahoma went way back into it, especially with that miss from UFO earlier on. It's very unfortunate, but even then, maybe Oklahoma could have brought it over. But I think One Tabby comboed for too long. So yeah, definitely not the way that this pick was supposed to go for Oklahoma, but still going to be some good scores coming out. Either way, Virginia, I mean, they're going to tie things up again.
Yep, and we are back at a tie game. A little bit of turbulence along the way for these teams, but we do eventually arrive at tied scoreline 4-4. Of course, this being a best of 11. Each of these teams has one pick remaining, and it's going to be a very fast call on the No-Mod 3 for Virginia going into the No-Mod streams. Maybe that is a little bit of someone in the back of the call calling for, hey, I'm feeling pretty good today. I want to play some more No-Mod mechanics. I liked how I performed on No-Mod 2, and I want to do the same thing on No-Mod 3. I think you can tell me who the name of that person is, Liliana.
I think you already know the name of that person.
I mean, I think we all know the name of this person, and I think we all know what this No-Mod 3 pick means.
Yeah, that goes without saying, I feel like, here.
Yeah. A certain Minecraft YouTuber turned OC player. This will
Who
be
could that
Virginia. Who could that be? As this is
the rebrand was supposed to get rid of the Minecraft. Nobody was supposed to know.
How could they know? How would they
Oh, my
ever
goodness.
know?
Listen, we took away the Minecraft and we made it MC. Okay, it's MC.
ever
Like, that could be
think-
match cost.
yeah.
That could be like
That could be,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
MC like a host on a
Nick
show or something.
McDonald's. I don't know. No, yeah, he's in the
Yes.
lobby, and we all know why. Like, it's just a BTMC map.
Looking much better after his week of training, getting used to his new setup, of course, and showing that off really in the No-Mod 2 earlier, pulling through in the back half for his team to secure things. Of course, going to be some other very solid mechanics players. Of course, I mean, you just look at this this lineup for Virginia: BTMC, Rectagon, and Phelan. Of course, this is how you would expect Virginia to put themselves on map point if they have one map to choose. And excuse me, that is not map point. That is going to be match point. They are looking for a bid for. And on the other side, yes, you do have UFO still there. And you do have Mr. Jeffrey and Lights Out finally back in. Excuse me, he was also in for the hidden one.
Yeah.
I am just
Yeah.
not
No,
with
all
things at the
good.
moment, it would seem, but
And these are going to be
actually
your
no,
rosters here.
he did take a step out for the hidden, as I thought.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I thought you if you're talking about the map prior, but yeah, no, these are going to be your teams here. Lights Out, Mr. Jeffrey UFO for Oklahoma, Failing, Rectagon, BTMC for Virginia, and I mean this is just this is like flow aim or bust here.
Yeah, and when you have that, who else would you want in the lobby but BTMC and Rectagon? As we do go into the first KI section, a little bit of some very extreme spacing changes alongside some aim mixed in between the square aim, a little bit reminiscent of Dinkare maps. We do see a lot of those geometric patterns in maps by them. And it's going to be actually our hero BTMC the first to break on the side of Virginia. We did see a break earlier from Mr. Jeffrey, however, and another trade from the side of Lights Out. So yes, this map developing maybe not quite how we expected it to with the BTMC miss, but for the side of Oklahoma, I think this is what Virginia were looking to see, especially with the two FCs of their own on Rectagon and Failing.
There's still so much combo density left on this map. Yeah, you've had a couple of misses, but there is plenty of time here. You do still need to hope for some more misses on Virginia if you are Oklahoma here. And I mean, how much weight can UFO really pull on his own? We've seen already, you know, the ability to get the point going their way, but right now, I mean, these patterns are crazy, and the fact that people are just hitting them without missing too much, unfortunately, Mr. Jeffrey going to be the first one to drop, but like, you'd expect more misses from other people. Genuinely. The fact that everybody is comboing for the most part, it's kind of ridiculous here.
Yeah. The lead has reached 200,000 already as we go into the guitar solo and the 1/3 section. A little bit of 1/3, not too long as is, not quite like the free mod 3, a little bit of a different flavor of stream map here. But TTV UFO still holding on to that lone FC, the lone hope for Oklahoma, as Lights Out's recovery is matched by that of BTMC. Really need Rectagon and Failing to miss, but as the match has gone on, Rectagon, you know, stumbling a little bit in the earlier parts, finding some misses at some unfortunate, inopportune moments, but now fully settled into the thick of things, and he is holding like there's no tomorrow. He is fully locked into this one, and I mean, I think the door has just about closed for Oklahoma to get back into this one. BTMC will drop his recovery at the end, but 400,000 is a lot in no mod, and even with the combo density of stream maps, you think about the maximum combo and just what percentage of that is left in this map, and we are just about done here, Liliana. It does look like it will be Virginia to take themselves to match point first as the ending streams. It's actually Failing the only one. Not the only one, as UFO will continue to do his thing, as will Lights Out on a very nice recovery after finding the miss earlier on, but the rest of Virginia holding on for quite much too long for Oklahoma to do anything about that one.
Yeah, that door closed a while ago for Oklahoma. Unfortunately, you still have UFO doing UFO things, but this time around, Failing stepping up to the plate, actually pretty much matching the scores. It was almost 1-1. I think it was like 800 points difference between Failing and UFO there. So, I mean, just still phenomenal scores from Virginia here, BTMC, to help be that third player to back the scores coming through from Rectagon, who, you know, understandably found a couple of chain misses at the very end of the map, which is basically just like, I mean, if the whole map before that end pattern is like 7 stars, then that end pattern is like 8 stars. It's like it's night and day. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I mean, but still,
I think we all saw the spacing there. I think we saw some what were they called again?
The patterning.
Follow points were they called?
I don't know if those came out necessarily.
Might have seen it on the skin, but yeah. Maybe some skins will show, some skins won't.
It's going to be 5-4 right now. Virginia finding themselves at match point now as the final pick comes through for this match. It's going to be the Nomad 5 here from Oklahoma. And this is do or die now. I mean, not do or die. This is winner's bracket. But, you know, like, this match has been kind of crazy. Nerves have to be through the roof here for all the players, even if it doesn't seem like it is for some of them. And so the fact still stands. Oklahoma, they need to win this pick in order to take us tiebreaker. And going toe-to-toe with Virginia, point for point for pretty much the whole map, or match, excuse me, even getting a break point versus Virginia is one thing, but to take them to tiebreaker and win is another. And so I do have some concerns here for Oklahoma, whether or not they will be able to control their nerves. So far in this match, and you know, I'm willing to hear you out if you think I'm like too wrong on saying this, but so far I feel like for Oklahoma it really has just been one player doing a lot of work here, and two players putting up decent scores, but nothing really stand out. And so, in order for Oklahoma to really secure this point, it's going to have to be a multi-person effort at this point. Because Virginia, they've locked in. The picks have started going more their direction, and they are looking a lot more comfortable right now. So I do think that Oklahoma has a fantastic chance here with this Nomad 5, going to be the final one of the available picks here before a potential tiebreaker. But I'm excited for this one. I do hope that we get to see the tiebreaker.
And yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. We have seen throughout this entire match UFO putting up some incredible performances, sometimes taking them over the line and sometimes just barely failing to do so. And I mean, as I said earlier, you can only put on so much luggage to the camel's back before it starts to crack, and we did see it start to crack a little bit on the hidden one where they gave back the break points, but we are here in the Nomad 5 now. We have 244 BPM mechanics consistency. This is a long one. This is our appetizer, our tiebreaker before the tiebreaker. It is Drain Red Drain by Ore Ore Usagi, Paradise of Pretense. And there will be no pretenses at the end of this map, as we'll see who truly belongs, who truly deserves to win this match. Your rosters for, I mean, I guess it's more decisive for Oklahoma than it is for Virginia. But regardless, the rosters will be UFO, Lights Out, and Mr. Jeffrey, and who else but these three who have put in so much work, such important core members of the team that have brought them to this point, even put them in the position in the first place to take Virginia to tiebreaker. And of course, on the other side, who else but Rectagon failing, and actually maybe a little bit of a surprise not to see RNG, but we do have our good old BTMC in there to take his place.
Yeah, it's going to be the players here for the final map. We're already a quarter of the way through here, Bless, so it is going to be plenty more map left to be played, and already, I mean, just the one miss coming through here from Mr. Jeffrey after a very early break from Rectagon. So this is actually going to continue to give some points over the way of Virginia. That miss actually coming quite in an opportune time here for Mr. Jeffrey, but still plenty of map left to be played. Do still need to have all the players locked in here. They do still need to be able to continue to hold on to the combos and keep their accuracies up as well. On a map like this, where there's really nothing too crazy that costs a lot of accuracy, your accuracy is very, very key to be able to get a good score here. So more misses coming through from Oklahoma, not really helping them out necessarily, but not hurting them just yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, perhaps it is a bit cruel to say fortunately, but those misses coming on Mr. Jeffrey, who did already lose his full combo, and it is quite fortunate that Lights Out and UFO are still holding on to their FCs. On the other side of the aisle, however, BTMC failing Rectagon, all on the 2 FCs and reverse choke. In the case of Rectagon, as we can see, about a 200 combo discrepancy for him as we go into a little bit of a slow section in the middle of the map as we do slowly, ever so slowly, crawl towards the finish line, the conclusion, potential conclusion of the match.
Here? Did I see failing on an A rank, but with the same combo as BKMC? What happened?
50 counts maybe? Maybe just a couple
Question mark?
strange 50s?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Either way,
I mean...
nobody's missing here. So,
I mean, no
this
harm, no
is...
foul.
Yeah, this is going to continue to go the way of Virginia so far.
Yeah, and the longer it continues to go, the more of a buffer Virginia can build against Oklahoma. Bit of a 1/3 section, but what was that miss from failing?
Yeah, right before the slow section here, bless.
And that might just be the window of opportunity Oklahoma need, still holding on to the combos from not just UFO, but also Lights Out is here. He has arrived and is ready to be that second man, that bigger part of a team effort, not letting it just be the UFO show. What? Oh, what is that miss? And it's a reset from the bottom row of Oklahoma.
It was a double break from UFO and Lights Out at the exact same time on the exact same note. Both of them miss-aiming the same slider. Oh no, it's a complete disaster for Oklahoma. Rectigon, BTMC locked in on the combos. And I mean, it's not even a fear, it's just a fact. Virginia is going to secure the point here to win the match 6-4 off of those misses. And that's heart-wrenching for Oklahoma.
And tragedy has struck. Oklahoma at the worst possible of times, finding the double miss. It's just Mr. Jeffrey to carry this one somberly into the ending. But fortunately for them, that will be the end of their upper bracket run here in the USA States Cup 2026. Virginia not losing in their quarterfinals matchup since 2019. And they will not break that streak quite yet. Oklahoma, it was a valiant effort. And not quite the one step away, but perhaps a penultimate step we can give them as they are struck down, smited into the lower bracket, as Virginia finally do pull through in the end.
Bless, let's look at the facts here. Okay. These top teams in this tournament can bleed. Virginia last week, 5-3 versus Pennsylvania. Again, another underdog team. And now 6-4. Oklahoma was in the lead for half the match. They got a break point on like Virginia's third pick. Third pick. And it's just like, you know, it hurts to see that this is the way that the match unfolded at the very end for Oklahoma. It's pretty clear that Virginia deserved this one. By all means, I'm not saying that they did not deserve this one. They fought hard, and they played fantastically. And when all is said and done, they stepped up their game. Towards the end of the match, they just started pulling out the full combos when they needed it. And they started getting the scores that they needed when they needed it. And so Virginia moving forward in the winner's bracket, congratulations to them. But I mean, like, hey, they've got to be sweating bullets here. If Oklahoma can do that to them, like, think about what like Oklahoma can do to seed 1 SoCal. You know, if that matchup ever comes to fruition. Either way, Oklahoma, now it gets a little bit harder for them moving into the semifinals. They will drop down to that loser's bracket, but you know, whoever has to play this Oklahoma team, like, seeing this match, I would be putting in extra practice on top of the practice you're already doing.
Yeah, and speaking of that matchup, that will be Colorado. They're the winner of Colorado versus Tennessee, which I do believe is our last matchup for this weekend. That's going to be at 4 UTC tomorrow, Tuesday. So another East Coast midnight match, just like this one. And Virginia going to be a little bit concerned at the very least, especially with their matchup next week. It's going to be Texas. It's going to be a battle of a couple more OWC friends. Of course, Decaden waiting in the wings already in the semifinals. Berth. Virginia going to have to tighten up their game if they want to continue their fight in the winner's bracket. But of course, for now, they will have a week of practice and rest. And we will also be taking a rest as this broadcast is coming to an end shortly. Thank you so much for joining me, Liliana. It's always a joy to cast with you, and what a wonderful match we had to share this cast with.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blast. I hope everybody enjoyed watching it. And thank you, Bless, as well, for commentating. Shout out to Pitsort for the stream and Freddie for the reffing to make everything go smoothly. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Have a great night, everybody. I know I will be hitting the pillows immediately. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching. One more match here in the quarterfinals, as Bless said. Tuesday for UTC, which is Monday night. It's a Monday night match. It's midnight if you're EST. It is 9 p.m. if you're PST. But you can do the math. And we have been yapping for too long. So thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you later.
Yep. Thank you. See you tomorrow, guys. See you next time.